be showing you how to make homemade chicken soup. The ingredients are 2 split chicken breasts, 2 thighs. You're gonna need oregano, you're gonna need adobo, ground cumin, chicken bouillon cube, garlic cloves, 1 packet sazon Goya. You're gonna need water. Depending on the size, you're gonna need potatoes. Okay? 3. I'm using 5 because they're small. But you want 3 medium-sized potatoes. You're gonna need carrots. You're gonna need egg noodles or soup noodles. I went with egg noodles. I couldn't find soup noodles. Same deal. Being that I'm Spanish, you know what we need here. Sofrito. You're gonna need green onions or scallions. Last but not least, you're gonna need cilantro. Okay? In the video description, I'll leave exact amounts of the ingredients that you need. First thing you're gonna wanna do is take your chicken and you're gonna remove all the skin and fat. After you're done removing the fat, you're gonna season your chicken with a teaspoon and a half of adobo.
Get both sides. These are good sized chickens. And a teaspoon and a half.
You're gonna do the same thing. Teaspoon of cumin. Like I said, get both sides. You could do this ahead of time if you want. Let it sit in the refrigerator for a little bit so the flavor incorporates better. Not necessarily needed, but you can do it if you want to make it easier. Teaspoon of oregano leaves.
Both sides as well.
You're gonna turn your stove on. Mine goes 1 to 10. You're gonna put it at a 7. You're gonna add 10 cups of water to the pot. 8, 10. Now you're gonna take your chicken as it's getting hot, bone and all, seasoned, put it in the water, just like that. And you're gonna let that cook at a 7 for 1 hour. And eventually you're gonna see the fat start rising to the top of the water. You're gonna take a spoon and skim the fat off, whatever you didn't get when you were taking the fat off. While your chicken is cooking, you could get everything prepared. I usually put the dry seasonings in a pot, 1 chicken bouillon, in a plate I mean. So when it's time to do it, you just dump everything in, you're good to go. 1 packet of sazon, and you're gonna add another teaspoon of oregano. Okay? That's all you got for the dry seasonings. Now it's on to the wet seasonings and vegetables. You're gonna take, stuff is so good, man. The smell is out of this world. You're gonna take half a cup of sofrito. Pretty much half a cup right here. You're gonna add that to your wet ingredients, which is vegetables and seasonings. You're gonna add to your wet ingredients 5 to 6 garlic cloves, okay? And you're gonna mince them. If you have a mincer, or you could chop them up very finely, however you want, however is easier for you. That's how it comes out. When you mince it, I like using fresh garlic as opposed to the one that you can find in a can that's already minced. This one, you get more flavor out of it. Okay. After about 20 minutes in, this is the fat that you want to skim off, the foam that comes up. You can do that whenever you see it. Just like that. As much as you can get. It will produce a little bit more, almost done. Usually about a half hour it'll be done. All the fat should be boiled off.
This is to keep it clear as possible. See what you get. That's the fat you want. That's the foamy stuff. Okay?
Now for your vegetables, you're going to want 3 carrots, skinned and chopped. That's why I get them already peeled for me. Peeled and chopped, that is, rather than skinned. My family ain't a fan of carrots. They eat them when they're nice, soft, and tender. So I'm only adding about 1.5. The recipe calls for 3. If you like carrots, 3 carrots, 3 long carrots. I buy these, so this is what we get there. Now you're gonna chop these up into 1/2-inch pieces.
Okay. Nothing crazy.
Like I said, that's about a cup of carrots, 1.25 cups maybe. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is take your potatoes, you're gonna clean them, scrub them, you're gonna peel them, and then I'll show you how you chop them next. Now that I got it washed and peeled, you're gonna chop it in half. Take those half, nice 1-inch chunks, okay? Like I said, this recipe calls for 3 medium-sized potatoes. These were on the small size, so I went with 4.
1-inch chunks. Add that to your vegetables. You cut them too small, you end up with extremely tender potatoes. So 1 inch, you're good to go.
This is what you got now. Carrots and potatoes. You're gonna take your cilantro. See how dirty this stuff comes? You have to rinse it extremely well because there's dirt and dust that stays within the leaves. 6 to 8 sprigs. You're gonna rinse it real good. Like I said, all the dirt comes out. Look at my hand. And then you're gonna chop it up. Okay, I rinsed it good. Now you're gonna take it. You're gonna lay it out. You're gonna cut off your stems. I'm gonna use them in this recipe. And now you're gonna take a knife, sharp knife, and cut it up to tiny pieces.
Go this way. After you go this way, you go this way.
Don't worry, once you cook this, they don't look nothing like this. This is all the flavor right here you're gonna get. Sofrito plus this. Add that to your vegetables. Okay, it's been an hour. You're gonna take the chicken out. This big piece is done. You check it with a instant read thermometer. You're gonna take out the chicken. Make sure it reads 165. An hour is more than enough. Like I said, that's a humongous piece. You're gonna take your dry ingredients, add them in. You're gonna take your wet vegetables, your sofrito, and your garlic. Add that to the mix. Now you're gonna take your meat after it's cooled off to the touch, and you're gonna take the meat off the bones. Okay? And you're gonna add it back to the pot. Use 2 forks if it's too hot to hold. Big chunks, small chunks, it doesn't matter. As long as no bones go back in, you're good to go. This is what you can end up with the meat. You're gonna add your meat back into the pot with all your seasonings. No bones. You're gonna take your potatoes, carrots, cilantro, add it to the pot. Stir this up. Still on a 7. You're gonna let this cook now for another half hour until your potatoes and your carrots are as tender as you like. All your flavor, your seasonings, everything gets incorporated. In a half hour, you're gonna have yourself a soup that's perfect for this time of weather. In a half hour, after everything is cooked, you're gonna add your noodles. You're gonna add a cup to a cup and a half of noodles. And you're gonna let these cook until they're tender. And you're gonna have yourself a soup that's fit for a king. Gonna mix this in. You're gonna take your 2 green onions. You're gonna rinse them good, and then you're gonna chop them up finely. This is the last touch where you add to the soup when it's done. You finally chop them like so. This is just garnish for the soup. Gives that a little bit of extra flavor. That's what you end up with. Chicken soup with egg noodles. Questions, comments, leave them below. I get back to everyone. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Take care.